Hello, amazing people, students, lovers of chemistry out there. I am super excited to be here with you on this video, which happens to be the next episode in the series where we've been looking at acids, salts, and bases. And I have some good news, by the way. We've just hit 40 subscribers on this YouTube channel. I'm super excited and grateful to each and every one of you who have made this a possibility today. It's been a pleasure serving you with my gifts, serving you with my potentials, and serving you with all that I've got. So let's make this journey even bigger and better. For those of you who have not yet subscribed to this YouTube channel, please do well to do so that we can reach more people and do more good in the world. Alright, so today we want to look at the uses of acids, bases, and salts. And by way of introductions, it is important to note that these things called acids, bases, and salts are not just limited to the laboratory. They are not just lab stuff. They exist all around us, from the kitchen, in your homes, to the farms around our homes, and even to our physical human bodies. These things play important roles, and that is what we want to look at in this video. So let's begin from our homes. Now, in our homes, chances are that you are surrounded by acids, salts, and bases on a daily basis. Now, the first thing that we see is the substance vinegar. The substance vinegar is also called acetic acid in chemistry. Now, this is a substance that is usually found in the kitchen, and it is an acid, and it is used in the process of cooking, and is also used in the process of cleaning. So you can see it is not just limited to carrying out reactions in the laboratories. These things actually apply to our daily lives. The next substance that we're looking at is lemon juice, which contains citric acid. Now, for those of you who are not aware, did you know that lemon juice is used not just as a flavor, but it is also used as a natural cleaner? Because that property of being an acid makes it to be a bit corrosive, and that property of being corrosive makes it to be a very good option when it comes to cleaning dirt, as you can see over here being illustrated by this picture. So we've seen two acids and we've seen their applicability in the kitchen. Next, let's look at a base. Now, the base we want to look at this moment is baking soda. Now, baking soda in chemistry is called sodium bicarbonate, and it is actually a base that is used in baking, in cleaning, and also to relieve heartburn. Now, there is a function of baking soda which many people overlook. When it is combined with an acid like, let's say, vinegar, what happens is that there is the production of a gas called CO2. Now, in the process of baking, when this happens, this gas that is produced makes your baked goods like bread to begin to rise and swell up. In the previous video that we released on this series on this YouTube channel, there was an illustration of baking soda being mixed with vinegar, and the moment that happened, we saw that bubbles were being produced, and that bubbles were showing that a gas called CO2 was produced. So baking soda also has the application in baking, cleaning, and relieving heartburn as well. The next substance we want to look at is also a base, and it is called soap. Now, soap is something that everyone can relate to. If you're wearing a clean dress, it is all thanks to soap. If you had your bath this morning, it is all thanks to soap as well. You wash your car, whatever you do that has to do with washing or cleaning, soap has a very important role to play as far as that is concerned. Next substance that we want to look at, which is so useful and applicable to our daily lives, is the all-important sodium chloride, aka table salt. Now, this is a salt, definitely, and it is used not just for seasoning, it is also used for preserving food. Now, over here you can see a process where a plate of, I don't know what the name of this food is, but whatever it is, you can see that it is being seasoned using salt. You definitely agree with me that a plate of meal that has no salt tastes way different from a plate of food that has salt contained in it. And over here you can see salt is being used to preserve fish. Now, in more rural areas where they really do not have access to some of these social amenities that we have access to, where maybe there is no refrigerator or microwave to preserve food, what they do is to take meats like this and then they pour a lot of salt on it to prevent the activity of bacteria, and then they spread it in the sun. So salt is used for preserving and for seasoning food. Now we've talked about the uses of acid, salts, and bases in the home. Let's talk about in agriculture and in industry as well. Do salts, bases, and acids have roles that they play in the agriculture and industry? Of course they do. Now, starting with agriculture, a salt that is called ammonium nitrate is used as a fertilizer, as you can see over here, to help plants grow. And another salt is called calcium hydroxide. Calcium hydroxide is added to neutralize acidic soil, making it better for farming. Now you can see that being done over here. So these things do not just have applications in the home, they also have applications in agriculture and in industry. Now let's talk about one of the acids that we have and how it applies to agriculture. The acid that we want to talk about is sulfuric acid, also known as H2SO4. It is actually used to make fertilizers, paints, and even batteries. Now, not just any kind of battery, but the battery that you use in your cars. The battery that you use in your cars actually makes use of sulfuric acid. I trust this video is being educative for you. Now, another acid that has applications in industry is hydrochloric acid, HCl. It is used in cleaning metals, and it is also used in making drugs and medicines. I cannot emphasize the importance of hydrochloric acid enough. It has so much to do and apply in our daily lives. Now, the next we want to talk about is a base, sodium hydroxide. Now, sodium hydroxide is used for making soap and used for making cleaning agents, which is why soap is actually classified as a base, because it contains sodium hydroxide. Now, that sodium hydroxide is what makes soap to be slippery. If you have ever had the chance of holding the pellets of sodium hydroxide, because it comes in the form of a solid, you would notice that whenever it makes contact with water, it becomes very slippery. And sodium hydroxide is the base that is used in making soap. That is what makes soap to be slippery. So these guys do not just apply to chemical laboratories, they also have applications in our daily lives. Now, the next we want to talk about is calcium carbonate. Now, calcium carbonate is a salt, and it is used in the production of cement, which we use to build our houses, of course, and in construction of sites. And we use it in the production of chalk. Although chalk is outdated now, all we use is markers in our schools. But then chalk is produced through the engagement of calcium carbonate, and as well in the production of antacid tablets. By the way, what's an antacid tablet? Antacid tablet is simply the combination of two words, anti and then acid. Anti here means against. So the function of an anti-acid tablet is to reduce the activity of acids in your stomach or in your digestive tract. Now, the first thing I want you to know is that as a human, your stomach contains acid, and one of the acids contained in your stomach is the hydrochloric acid. Now, there are times where maybe due to indigestion, the activity of this hydrochloric acid becomes too much, and then you need something to neutralize the activity of this acid. This is where the function of antacid tablets come in. And one of the salts that have been used in the production of these antacid tablets is calcium carbonate. Now, if you have ever taken a vitamin tablet, chances are that it might contain citric acid or salts that help it to dissolve better. Now, having said that, let's move to the next concept we want to talk about. The next thing we want to talk about is the application of salts acids and bases in the human body. Now, somebody might be surprised and might be thinking, wow, the salts and acids actually have something to do with my body. Yes, and whether you believe it or not, your body uses these substances, salts, acids, and bases, in order to function properly. First of all, hydrochloric acid, HCl, is found in your stomach. You can see an illustration over here that shows the digestion of some food substances that have been eaten by a person. Now, it is the activity of acids like hydrochloric acid, HCl, in the stomach that makes the digestion of food to become very, very easy, because acids break down the substances that they come in contact with. Bases, on the other hand, like bicarbonates, they help to neutralize stomach acid when it is too much. For example, in the previous slide, we talked about antacids, which is produced by calcium carbonate. One of the salts that is used to produce antacids, we have calcium carbonate, and we talked about how it is used to reduce the activity of acids contained in the human digestive tract. So that brings us to the concept of salts. Salts like sodium and potassium are electrolytes that help your nerves and your muscles to function properly. Now, your muscles depend on salts in order to provide them with the electrolytes that make them to function properly, which is why when somebody is deficient in salt, one of the diseases that the person stands a chance of contacting is this disease that is called goiter. And in the case of goiter, that person's neck begins to swell up in an unusual way because the muscles there have been weakened by the absence of salt. So these things have not just functions in the chemistry laboratory, they have a lot to do with our daily lives. In the human body, you can see an example here. Sports drinks, or drinks that have been made for sportsmen, they contain salts and electrolytes that replace what you lose when you sweat. Now, you would agree with me that in the process of carrying out rigorous activities like maybe exercises, you sweat a lot, and in the process of sweating, you lose strength, or in the process you begin to feel weak. Now, this is where the concept of sports drinks come in. They contain electrolytes that help you to replace what was lost in the process of sweating. Now, you can see the application of salts, bases, and acids in the human body. So thank you for sticking with me till the end of this video. We've come to the end of it, and I want to say a very big thank you to each and every one of you who have stayed till this point. This channel has educated you in any profitable way. Do well to like this video, turn on the notification bell icon, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'll see you in the next one.